Have you ever pondered over the chilling thought of how a person can simply vanish without a trace? The concept of missing persons is indeed a perplexing one, wrapped in layers of mystery and unanswered questions. It's like a puzzle with pieces that just don't seem to fit, no matter how many times you try. Let's take a step back in time to revisit some high-profile disappearances that have left the world scratching its collective head. Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean, mysteriously vanished in 1937 during an ambitious flight around the world. Despite extensive searches and multiple theories, her disappearance remains one of the 20th century's greatest unsolved mysteries. Fast forward to the summer of 1966 in Adelaide, Australia. The Beaumont children Jane, Arna, and Grant set off for a day at the beach and never returned. The case sparked one of the largest police investigations in Australian criminal history, yet the children's fate remains unknown. Each of these cases, and countless others, share a common thread: individuals who, in one way or another, simply vanished. They stepped out of their lives and into the unknown, leaving behind a vacuum filled with speculation, theories, and endless questions. Did they meet with foul play or choose to disappear? Are they still alive somewhere, under a different identity? Or did they fall victim to a tragic accident? The circumstances surrounding these disappearances are as varied as they are baffling. Some vanish from their homes, others from public places under the watchful eyes of witnesses. Some leave behind clues cryptic and confusing, while others disappear as though they've been erased from existence. These unresolved mysteries continue to baffle investigators and leave us with more questions than answers. As we delve deeper into the world of missing persons and mistaken identities, we'll explore how these disappearances can be more complex than they first appear. For now, let's keep in mind that every disappearance leaves a ripple effect, touching lives and creating a mystery that often extends far beyond the person who has vanished. Could mistaken identities be the missing piece in solving these mysteries? Mistaken identities often play a more significant role in missing persons cases than we might initially think. Misidentification can derail an investigation, sending detectives down rabbit holes of confusion and misinformation. It's like navigating through a labyrinth, where one wrong turn can lead you miles away from the truth. Take the case of a woman in the late 70s who vanished without a trace. Early in the investigation, a witness confidently identified a woman seen at a local diner as the missing person. This led detectives on a wild goose chase across 3 states, only to discover they were chasing a ghost. The woman at the diner was not the missing person, but a look-alike. The precious time and resources wasted on this wild goose chase could have been better utilized, potentially bringing the missing woman home sooner. Or consider the chilling case from the 90s, where a man was wrongfully convicted for a disappearance based on mistaken eyewitness testimony. He spent a decade behind bars for a crime he didn't commit. It wasn't until advanced forensic analysis proved his innocence that he was released. During this time, the real culprit remained at large, and the missing person's family was left with a false sense of closure. These errors not only derail investigations but also inflict immeasurable pain on the families of the missing. Every lead that turns out to be a dead end, every false conviction is a fresh wound, a renewed cycle of hope and despair. The impact is profound, deepening the wound of their loss. Moreover, when investigations go astray due to mistaken identities, the real perpetrators remain free, potentially endangering others. It's a ripple effect where one misstep can lead to a cascade of consequences, impacting numerous lives and prolonging the search for truth. These cases serve as a stark reminder of the profound impact that mistaken identities can have on missing persons investigations. It underscores the need for meticulous detective work, the importance of reliable witness testimony, and the role of advanced forensics in ensuring that the right individuals are held accountable. What if revisiting cold cases with the lens of mistaken identities could lead us to new discoveries? This thought-provoking question invites us to consider the potential benefits of revisiting unresolved cases with a fresh perspective. Let's look at cold cases, those unsolved mysteries that have left investigators scratching their heads for years, even decades. These are the cases that have slipped into the shadows, their trails grown cold over time, yet they hold a certain allure, the promise of hidden truths waiting to be unearthed. Now, imagine the possibilities when we approach these cold cases through the prism of mistaken identities. Could this fresh perspective be the key to unlocking the mysteries that have confounded us for so long? There are, in fact, several instances of cold cases that have been solved through this approach. Take, for instance, the case of a woman who disappeared in the 70s. For years, her case remained cold until investigators revisited it with the hypothesis of mistaken identity. They discovered a woman living in another state under a different name, and through DNA testing, confirmed that she was indeed the missing person. She had been living under a new identity, having lost her memory due to a traumatic incident. And then there's the role of advancements in technology. In the past, investigations were limited by the technology available at the time. Today, we have tools such as advanced facial recognition software, DNA analysis, and digital forensics that can help us revisit these cold cases with a new level of precision. For instance, DNA databases have helped connect the dots in several cases, identifying victims who were previously misidentified or bringing to light mistaken identities that led investigators down the wrong path. These breakthroughs not only underscore the importance of revisiting cold cases, but also highlight the potential of considering the possibility of mistaken identities. By doing so, we bring new hope to these unresolved mysteries, inching closer to the truth, and perhaps to bringing closure to the families still waiting for answers. These breakthroughs highlight the potential of revisiting cold cases and the importance of considering the possibility of mistaken identities. Behind every missing person case is a human story waiting to be told. As we delve into these personal narratives, we're not just talking about statistics or cold case files, we're talking about individuals with dreams, aspirations, and loved ones they left behind. Individuals who suddenly found themselves at the center of perplexing mysteries. Take, for instance, Jane Doe, a bright university student known for her infectious laughter and unwavering determination. Jane was more than just a missing person. She was a loving daughter, a loyal friend, a passionate environmentalist. Her disappearance left a void in her community that has yet to be filled. Then there's John Doe, a seasoned fisherman whose love for the sea was only rivaled by the love for his family. His disappearance wasn't just about a man lost at sea, it was about a father, a husband, a mentor who vanished, leaving a family and a fleet of fishing boats grappling for answers. And we can't forget about Baby Doe, an infant who disappeared from his crib one fateful night. His story is not just about a missing child case, but about a future stolen, a lifetime of memories that were never made, and parents left with an empty nursery and aching hearts. These stories paint a vivid picture of lives interrupted, dreams unfulfilled, and families fractured by the absence of their loved ones. They serve as stark reminders that behind every missing person case, there's a human story, a life that mattered, a person who was missed. These narratives also underscore the impact of mistaken identities on the lives of the missing and their families. They highlight the importance of accurate identification in ensuring that these stories are not lost, that the truth is unearthed, and that the missing are not forgotten. These stories remind us of the human element behind these mysteries and the importance of seeking the truth. How can we contribute to solving these mysteries and bringing closure to the families of the missing? This is a question that often lingers in the minds of those who find themselves drawn to the perplexing world of unsolved missing persons cases. The answer, quite simply, lies in awareness. Raising awareness about missing persons is more than just sharing their stories. It's about keeping their names alive, their faces in the public eye, and their mysteries unsolved in our collective consciousness. It's about acknowledging that every missing person is someone's child, someone's sibling, someone's friend. It's about understanding that for every mystery that remains unsolved, there is a family that continues to wait, hope, and seek closure. But what role can we, the public, play in this? It's easy to feel helpless in the face of such enormous, often decades-old mysteries. But the truth is, we can make a difference. By sharing these stories, we can help keep the spotlight on the missing. We can help maintain the momentum in these investigations, ensuring that they are never forgotten. We can help to amplify the voices of those who are still seeking answers, still seeking justice, still seeking closure. Let's not underestimate the power of a share, a like, a comment. These small actions can ripple outwards, reaching places and people that might hold the key to unlocking these enduring mysteries. They can encourage new witnesses to come forward, prompt fresh tips, and even inspire new investigative leads. And let's not forget the role that mistaken identities can play in these cases. By keeping the conversation about mistaken identities alive, we can help to challenge assumptions, encourage fresh perspectives, and potentially even open up new avenues of investigation. By keeping the spotlight on the missing and maintaining the conversation about mistaken identities, we can contribute to the ongoing effort to uncover the truth and bring closure to the families of the missing.